You know, I just had a meeting with God's Warrior 1961. I don't know if you guys remember him, but we done a video a little while back here on YouTube. I went over and met with him, and we discussed some things with you. Now, I just had a meeting with him not even 5 minutes ago, and we started talking about all the corrupt stuff. Matter of fact, he was doing mainly most of the talking. I was listening, pretty much writing down what needs to be said. But here's something you got to do. We all have to do. We have to start asking ourselves what's important to us and who we are. And this ain't about personal vendettas or anything like that. Our country is going down the tubes. We've got so much corruption that's happened, so much treason that has happened against our nation that, you know, with us just sitting here and not taking any kind of action is the same as being part of that conspiracy. Now, we could sit here and pass videos back and forth all day long. Information out. I'm telling you, I'm information out. We know that there's a lot of stuff coming. But, you know, we don't need anything like violence to solve this. What we need is we need 2 million people to march upon Washington, and arrests need to be made by 2 million people. There's too much treason, too much corruption, too much everything that has happened, and now our country is going down the toilet. You know, we've sat back and watch this stuff happen, and then think to ourselves, well, what can I do? Well, what you could do is first get up from watching TV and sitting behind a computer and go get it done. You know, unless you want to wait until everything becomes a police state, because the idiots out there with their personal vendettas go out and cause a bunch of problems and create the police state. The police state's coming anyway. But I guarantee you this: 1 million people march on, or 2 million people march on Washington. They will be so overwhelmed that there's nothing that they could do. Now, I'm not saying be violent or anything, because that's foolish. But at the same time, something needs done. We're running out of time, guys. You know, once the arrests are made and the people that have betrayed us, that need to go to prison, once they're in prison, the first steps we need to do is take down the power plants. Shut them down. And then we have to figure out what to do with the spent fuel rods. Did you guys know that 2 other nuclear plants are underwater over in Nebraska as we speak? This is in our country now. Now, I talked about this stuff in my past videos. The only thing I was focusing on was about the New Madrid fault line. So go look it up. I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then when God's Warrior 1961 and I was talking to you, we brought up the nuclear plants again. Well, guess what? We could be looking at a nuclear disaster Can you live with that? Can you live at all after that? Another thing is, why are we giving states away to a foreign country? Why is China getting 4 states? But we're still sitting here behind the computer on YouTube. How good does that make you feel? It's not the America that would have been generations ago. Oh, they would have done stood up and took back the country. You know, with there being enough of us taking a stand, not one bullet would have to be fired, not one. Because they would be so overwhelmed. It would be we, the people, aren't going to take it anymore. We're done. You know, we've got the soft kills hitting us already. And then we've got the fungus out in Joplin, Missouri. All the survivors out there from the Joplin tornadoes are dying from some kind of fungus. What is that? I've never heard of that before. Come on, guys. Think. They already want 90% of us dead worldwide anyway, so they can control us. What do you think they're doing now? They're stepping up the game. Well, it's time for us to step up our game. What about the ambulance lady, the lady, the EMT lady that supposedly went camping, and they put a thing on the news? This is good propaganda for you. They said she had went camping for a couple days. So they want to keep us out of the woods, you know. She had died of mysterious causes after being admitted into the hospital. A young lady. There's propaganda for you. Keep you guys out of the woods, you know. Stay in your homes. Be scared. Be real scared. Also, God's Warrior 1961 was saying this also to me. He was saying, the wrath is upon us because we haven't done anything. So, all this stuff that's happening, it's because we haven't done anything. We don't stand for anything anymore. Well, now's the time for you guys to start asking yourselves, what do you stand for? What do you care about? What about your families? What about your children? What about your grandchildren?